Hello, everybody. That was that was a snafu, but it's good because it's an advertisement for tomorrow's Chosen Heroes with Melissa. That I'm going to be with her. We're going to be doing. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Good morning. We have Richard here with me. Good morning. There's a lot that we are going to talk about because it has been an action-packed week in terms of events that you might think it's just happening in DC, but in reality, they really impact our community very much. And yesterday I learned, no, actually the day before yesterday, I learned from Minister Jerome a new term. He says we're going to call out from now as we envision things. So we're going to call our community instead of a targeted community, we're going to call it the treasured community because we are treasures and because we have a lot of treasures inside of us. All of those that have implants, those are big treasures. So it's just a matter of putting it in a positive perspective instead of targeted. We are treasured. The first thing, like the most hugely important thing that I don't know if you knew about. Okay, the perps are going to start making the noise. Let me try to get the microphone going first so that because this is part of being a treasure, that we get all these noise complaints. So Alex Jones this week informed that the FBI answered one of his FOIAs, and even though it was heavily redacted, the good thing is, hi, welcome. Um, no, go ahead, I'm sorry, I'm just going to continue, but yeah, go ahead. That he was his organization was classified as a let me just put on this, bear with me, you know how it is, this is a one woman production here, one woman band. So he was informed that his organization was classified as a domestic terrorist organization, which I know that targeted justice is also, even though we fight for human rights of our treasured community. Um, eh, the Let me make sure. Oh God, I wish I could have. They're not letting. They're not letting. Um, the Can you hear me? I'm not getting. Can anybody try to see if you're hearing me well? Because the comments are not. StreamYard is not allowing to show me the comments. So I hope you're listening. You're hearing. Um, do Excuse me. Can you do me a favor and turn it on in Rumble and make sure that the sound is going? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to continue here. And you hear me? Okay. Thank you. No, I already. Thank you. Thank you. Um, okay. So for all of those of you that sent the FOIA request to the FBI, I think that now we're going to have a more receptive agency answering whether or not you are in the illegal, because there are illegal handling codes 3 and 4 reserved for people that do not represent a threat to national security. I wish you learned this like a mantra, okay? Handling codes 3 and 4 contravene the mandate of Homeland Security Presidential Directive 6 that demanded that people placed on the watch list have meet reasonable suspicion or probable cause to be on the, thank you Bob, thank you so much, to be on the terrorist screening database. So hold on, don't send it right away, because as we know, the Senate is still holding off on the confirmation of Kash Patel, which is for those of you that have heard my podcast, the podcast that we've been in the past, the past 3 ones, we have been talking about how he is very clear on the existence of the program and on the need of the federal government to shut it down. These are amazing times, and I'm going to talk to Richard about what the impact on some of the news that we have, like such as, for example, that the CIA officers, employees have been offered an 8-month paid Thank you, Bob. Thank you. An 8 month salary to quit, to retire. And that is also news for us, at least because, first of all, the CIA is not supposed to operate in the United States. And as we know, in Denver, Colorado, they have the psychological operations that run this program. The criminals that plan your V2K are in Denver, Colorado. Underneath the airport, there are offices there way below the airport, which is a satanic airport with satanic murals. Well, that's where they are. And that's where those Mengele doctors that plan the psychological operations and the 64 types of personalities, that's where they work. We're going to go after them. We're going to demand that their licenses be revoked. We're going to demand that they be criminally prosecuted. And this, thank you, DJ. Um, I'm going to talk before I bring Richard on. I'm going to talk about some very important things that are going on. First of all, for those of you that are not reading my Mira column, subscribe. It's free. If you want to pay, it's very welcome, but it's free and it's a service to the community. I want every single one of you, every single word of you counts. It, this time we are sending Miss Gabbard. I didn't bring it with me, but the project, I printed it out last night. The Project Freedom, which, if you look in Targeted Justice, you don't have to resend it because I'm sending it. But in my Mira, I put the letter, a draft letter that you can copy whatever you want to copy from it and adapt it to your situation. For example, you can say, I have been targeted for 15 years and my 5-year-old child is 2 and she is attacked with electromagnetic weapons. And these are crimes against humanity, and I urge you to investigate the intelligence community. Why? Because the executive order against weaponization that President Trump signed on the very first day in the job after his inauguration, he commissioned the director of national intelligence, which is Tulsi Gabbard, because she passed the muster of the committee. Now she's going to the full Senate vote, but we don't foresee any problem there because the problem was the committee, right? So she's going to have 45 days to investigate. Listen to this: the abuses by the intelligence community. This is huge. Okay, in my Mira, I updated the physical address. For those of you, we know that the U.S. Postal Service, many of them are criminals. We know that because we are their victims. We never get their mail. And, I sent like 15 pieces of mail certified from the from a post office here in Houston. They kept 2. And if it wasn't for the fact that I went one by one, tracking number, tracking number, tracking number. Yeah, Frederick, I know Puerto Rico's targeting is horrible. And they kept 2. So I filed, and you have to do it when you do send anything with a tracking number. Don't just say, okay. No. Check the tracking. Because these criminals at the post office, and I openly say it because 2% of them work at the fusion centers. They are agents of this criminal program. So then I filed a complaint for each one. Oh, and magically they appear and magically they deliver them. So you have to be on top of things. And one of the good things that we have had to develop is having the malice to know, wait, what are these criminals going to do? Let me be smarter than them. Okay. And in this line, and I'm going to continue going on the current news, which is so good for us. But along these lines, I want to give you this little piece of advice. I should actually wait for more people to tune in. But this is really important because this is a discovery I just made. Many of you that live alone, criminals, or with somebody, the criminals make you verbalize what you're thinking. Just look at inside of yourself when you're by yourself. Me, I'm constantly saying, you criminals, whatever. Point is that even when you're driving, because the local criminals put microphones in your house, in your car, wherever. They're not reading your thoughts. And the criminals at Schriever don't communicate with the local criminals that gang stalk you. So my point is, if you don't verbalize what you're going to do or where you're going to go, the local criminals have a lag time in to be able to chase you around, and that's what just tape yourself to remind yourself not to say where you're going, what you're going to do, because what these criminals do is that with the microphones or the laser technology they use, because Armando discovered, one of his neighbors is using a laser technology that goes through the glass. It does not go through the walls, but it does go through glass. And they use that technology to eavesdrop on you. So they don't even have to have physical microphones inside your house. So that's just one thing. Try to, when you're going to do something, do not talk about it. Just do it. And if you do have to tell somebody in your house, just write it and show it. But don't write it, and if possible, like me, that I have impulse in my eyes, write it, but don't look at it. Okay? Because again, the criminals at Shriever don't call the local gang stalkers and don't talk to them. Now, going back to the FOIA. So Alex Jones was told that InfoWars, oh my God, he has so many lawsuits going because he was told that InfoWars was classified by the FBI as a domestic terrorist organization, just like Targeted Justice is that we haven't had the confirmation. And we hope that just as a news organization that we are, because we already hit the 20,000 mark of subscribers in the Substack newsletter. So, and that's a huge milestone because we never saw it coming. So the important thing is that we are a news media organization, and just like Alex Jones, we have a right to get our they're going crazy. They won't be able to deny the FOIAs anymore. There's a character by the name of Michael Seidel in the FBI whose specialty was to deny, just redact the entire page. It just had the title, sensitive information, and the entire thing redacted. Well, we're going to go after that too, and we're going to denounce it with the Department of Justice because that is a violation of FOIA. They cannot just arbitrarily, redact everything they please because there's an executive order. Look it up. It's called 12333. And then there's another one that was signed by Obama. You cannot classify, you cannot make secret anything that tells on the criminality and the corruption of an agency. And that's exactly what the FBI has been doing. And that's exactly what we need to catch Patel in there. And that is exactly what I'm going to beg you all. I'm going to make a post later today, again, with the phone numbers of the senators. You need to call your senator and ask, I want to know where you stand on Kash Patel, and you better confirm this man because he is going to clean the swamp. Everybody is tired of the swamp creatures, and we want him to clean the swamp. And we want to be free, and I'm absolutely certain he is going to abolish handling codes 3 and 4 and look into the people that are in 1 and 2 and see if there is probable cause to have them there. So it is in the best interest of our treasured community to get active. This week, somebody had the nerve, and I have to say the nerve, when I wrote the Tulsi draft letter to write to me, send it on write it for me and send it. How dare you? How dare you? This is why this program has lasted on for so long, because the criminals are counting on you just waiting there for other people to do it. No, this is the time for you to pick up your pen and paper and write your letter and send it with a tracking number so that the criminals at the post office don't throw it out. Okay? And that is the very least you can do. Just think of all the atrocious torture you have overcome and you have survived. It's a little effort that when she sees 100, 200 letters from us, well, she's gonna, we're gonna make her job easier. Remember, she has to investigate the abuse by the intelligence community. Okay. Now, I'm going to ask Richard about. So you have to please call your senator. The importance. I don't know if you saw yesterday that among the things that Doge is going to be doing is auditing the Pentagon.